What time's hair and makeup?
I like to read, I like to write. You know, James can't do either of those things yet.
When someone's like, I just think this is fucking awful, the excitement that we would always get from that was so
Particularly
brilliant.
when it used to be a secret, the Conner Brothers used to be a secret.
When we were effectively pretending to be the representatives of the Conner Brothers, we could be at places like art fairs where you would have 20,000 people walk through the doors over 7 days, and you'd be there on the booth and you could just see every single response.
People used to come up and said that they'd met them, the Conner Brothers, and they'd been to their studio in Brooklyn and stuff like that, and that happened quite a lot. I think our relationship shows in the work, so when people make them smile or whatever, I think they're sharing our private experience of making each other laugh and having fun.
Yeah, I just don't think we've ever really taken ourselves that seriously, and I think that translates through a lot of the art that we make. We always like the idea of it being able to be absorbed and experienced by as many people as possible. We got a really quick handle on the idea that it had some kind of powerful response with people, and we sort of found it funny that people liked it. We found it funnier that they hated it. It's also not too challenging for the most part, certainly with things like the Pulp Fiction series.
It's not like you have to get a fucking degree in art history to understand it.
Whereas convention in the art world, certainly the part of the art world that we had experience in, where there were so many barriers to entry, and either you had to be smart enough or rich enough.
We're very anti that.
I wonder whether we're perceived by that kind of part of the art world as just sort of weird outsiders. No one said that to our faces. I just wonder whether that'll be one of them now. Yeah, you are a cunt.
Really what we're doing is trying to make each other laugh in this constant, long, sort of stupid one-line joke.
We did that TEDx talk. We came out on stage. I think my opening line was, I'm in a public toilet with a homeless guy and he's helping me to inject heroin into my neck because I'm so sick that my hands are trembling and I can't do it myself. I remember there was this woman sitting in the front row next to her son who was maybe 12 or something, and the first thing she did was just looked appalled at my face and covered her son's ears. You know, when I was 22 till I was 26, I'd been completely out of normality, going out every day, stealing a lot and taking very large quantities of these drugs, which are very powerful and have a really powerful effect on your mind and your sense of ethics and morality. Hello mate, you alright Dean, how you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. In a magazine, I'm making a small donation.
Yeah, sure, of course. We'll both take a magazine. I had my own sort of minor stints of homelessness. You're so detached from anything that's normal. Coming back into that world is really very fucking complicated, because every day that you've spent up to that point where you're sober again has been fucking hardcore. Mike would always talk to him about, he'd been diagnosed with a lifelong mental illness, and he would describe to me how detached he felt from the world. What we were both mentally experiencing probably wasn't that different. Coming back into the world for the first time, which really is the parallel that you draw with the fictional story about the Conner Brothers.
Honestly, that story was written in fucking 3 minutes, that whole thing, without any thought. The only weird bit was the first 6 weeks, and then it was just completely normal. And then we were sat in that cafe one day with a bacon sandwich, and I had a phone call from Bonhams, the auction house, and they'd received kind of a ransom letter saying the reason you can't meet or interview the Conner Brothers is because they don't exist, and it's actually James Colling and Mike Scull. And they've sent a copy of this letter to every national newspaper. And then it ended, just said, this scandal has to stop.
A friend of mine who's a pretty high up lawyer, he goes, okay, well, hang on a minute. So let me get this right. You're saying that you were creating artworks, but pretending they were made by other people, traveling around the world, selling them and taking money for those works. We were like, yeah. He goes, well, of course that's fraud.
he was like, they'll have to prove in the court a definition of what a work of art is. And he was like, it'll be a groundbreaking case. I would love to take it and I'll do it for free. Obviously, I just went, oh, we're going to fucking jail. I don't give a shit about your groundbreaking fucking case. I was like, fucking, just tell me I'm not going to jail, you fucking massive bellend. Anyway, he wouldn't.
Were we just like pretending to talk to each other about this old shit?
Yeah, and in the cafe we took you to earlier, one day we were in there, we just opened a copy of The Sun, and on page 3 there was a massive picture of one of our artworks because Harry Styles had bought one. Then it just kind of snowballed from there. Prince Harry and Meghan decided to give Idris Elba and his wife a gift. That gift happened to be one of our artworks. And then all the comments, especially in the Daily Mail, were completely amazing. So we decided to take the best of these and the most vitriolic of these Daily Mail comments, and we made them into joke paintings, and we sold all of them.
And it's cool to have done something with someone else for like fucking best part of 25 years.
When you talk about mental health problems or addiction problems, what you realise is nearly everyone's got a story to share in some way or other, and you can feel the sense of people really want to and need to talk about it, but you don't necessarily have it in your daily life. And I think because we've talked about it quite a lot as the Connor brothers, then people know that it's really okay to share difficult things, and none of us should shy away from it.